Hey everybody, welcome back to Aristotle Spirits. This is what is going on at Aristotle this week. So this week, I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about ice and how important ice is to a really great cocktail. So, what I have in front of me, you'll see, is a nice igloo cooler. We have had water in there and freezing for the last 2 days approximately, which is about the perfect time to pop it open and start cutting ice for a nice clear ice cube for a great old fashioned. So I'll pull this off and you can see it's frozen through the top layer, but not all the way through. So I'm gonna quickly knock off the big bits here. There it is. That's a nice sheet of perfectly clear ice and ready to be cut down. Importance of this, why do we care? Well, you know, clear ice like this with no air bubbles, it takes longer to melt. So when you put it in your drink with your nice high class, top of the line Discovery bourbon or Discovery single malt whiskey, you're gonna want less ice melting to water down your drink. So this stuff, the clear ice, takes longer, gets it nice and cool, so you can have a nice chilled whiskey while you sip, and it doesn't get watered down at the end of the drink. That's the goal. So this is how we do it. All right, so it goes in these igloo coolers. We just rip the top off with our bare hands, and then you get this block of ice out of it. It's a nice, good rectangle. This is a bone saw. So we like to do it by hand. You can definitely do these with, you know, mechanical means, but frankly, that's a little bit scary. So get yourself a bone saw. This one's only been involved in 2 or 3 murders, so definitely fine to use. You just want to score the top, like I'm doing. You get a nice, good cut into this ice. Right, there you go. There's a nice line down the middle, and I cut these into fourths. So let's get another one going here. And it takes a little elbow grease. All right, there we go. Let's get this last one. So now that it's kind of scored up and ready to go, the hope is that I can get my knife out and kind of chip off pieces that are somewhat equally sized. It's never perfect. Do that? Yes, another one here. Bam. All right, now I've got these 3. All right, now I've got these 3 or 4. Sorry, I can count. Pieces, and these are ready to kind of be cut down to glass size. So then I'm gonna score each one of these really quick. And I can already tell a couple of these pieces are gonna be a little thicker. So I have to trim those down. So we'll get to that here in a minute. All right, cool. Now that I've got those 4 ready to go, to be cut down, then you get your knife back out and give it a few taps. And you're just creating one good fracture through the ice. And there you go. Repeat. But first, I always check, okay, how's my cube look, right? Nice and clear, but is it gonna fit in my glass? That one's a little big. So we can trim her down. And this is why we always call the first couple rows of the bar the splash zone whenever we're doing this, during the times we're open and we have customers in. So there you go. I've trimmed it down a little bit. It's fitting in pretty good. That one's ready to go. And onward. And this is fun because it doesn't create perfect cubes. They're all a little bit off kilter, and I like that. Another fun trick, like this one's just slightly too big still, put it under cold water for just 3, 4, 5 seconds. Now it's smaller, perfect fit. And you see why I'm wearing protective gloves while I do this. The OSHA people that are watching, they can take this and be happy. I'm not gonna cut my hand. We've had a couple accidents, so hopefully no more. And it's been because, you know, folks weren't wearing the right gloves or whatever. So we try to make sure safety first at the place. And see, this one has some cool shapes to it. Still a little big. We're gonna do the water trick. And obviously, if you're making these at home, probably 1 cooler is enough. Here at the bar, we do like 3 a day, just to make sure we got enough of this awesome ice all the time. But if you don't want to go through the trouble of getting all the stuff, all the coolers, all the murder saws, etc. You know, they're easy to find, by the way. They come where you get all your murder supplies. That's at Amazon. So not a big deal. But if you want to just, you know, you can buy it. You know, there's some really cool like molds out there on the market. You just want to look for something that allows the air bubbles to sink. So if it's a mold and it's just a square mold, you're going to get air bubbles in your ice. It's not going to be clear. It's not going to be that good. So you are going to be looking for, if it's a mold that has 2 chambers. A top chamber where the actual ice squares are, and then underneath that is just holes in the bottom where water sits. And then when you freeze through that, you can pull out that mold. And the mold on top will be nice clear ice, and all those air bubbles will have been at the bottom. Because the way it works is ice freezes from the top and the sides. And so as that freezes, it forces all the air bubbles that's within the water to the middle and the bottom. And then you get nice, perfectly clear ice right at the top. So there you go. And it's the best. I'm telling you, don't use the ice cubes from your fridge. Go, if you're serious about drinking your whiskey, this is what you gotta get some clear ice. It is important. You can tell anybody that disagrees that I vouch for it and go crazy. Again, this is a little more effort than most people are gonna go to at home, but it's totally worth it for the bar. We love it, and our customers obviously love it, and it puts the fine whiskey in the best possible light. All right, we're nearly there. Oh, that one's too big. All right, keep going. I love how easy it is to get through the ice when you just tap. A little tap-tappy. Tap-tap. Tap-a-roo. For those that don't know, that was from Happy Gilmore. Sorry, by the time I finish this, I start to get a little crazy. once we get down to the end. Okay, this is a giant, awesome piece of ice. It's too big for our glassware, which is a shame because it's incredibly beautiful. But I'll shrink it and it'll work just fine. And I definitely, if you are shrinking your ice, you're doing this kind of thing, use cold water. Hot water is gonna make it crack. Not good. You don't want to do that. So, because that defeats the purpose. Once you have a crack and a fissure through your ice, that's a channel for the drink to get kind of in there and makes it melt faster. You want to make your ice as low a surface area as you can, so you make a nice cube with no air bubbles, so it is just pure water there, and there's no channels, no way to get in and mess up your drink. Gorgeous. All right, last one. Perfect. All right, so there you go. That is how you get your perfectly clear ice. And now that I've gone to all that work to get all this ice made, I get to go and make a reward cocktail and show you why it's so important to go through all this effort. All right, guys, we're right here at the bar, ready to go, using this gorgeous ice that we just cut. Now we're gonna make an old-fashioned the Aristotle way. So the first thing we do is we like to brand our ice because it's fun. And it gives it a nice, fun Aristotle symbol on top of your beautiful ice. So just hold that on there a few seconds, and you should be able to see a nice Aristotle logo there. And then, all right, I'm gonna make this today with our American single malt whiskey. So, old fashioned our way is 2 ounces of your whiskey. And then you need a 1/2 ounce of simple, just some sweet in there. And then, because it's our single malt whiskey, I like to use a couple different bitters with it. First is an orange bitter. And the second is a coffee bitter that we make in-house. There you go, those are in. Notice I just added it straight to this, no ice. If you add ice to it, I just poured that in there, now I've got ice melting, and I've just defeated the purpose of my beautiful clear ice. All right, so, ice in. Get it in there, get a nice stir going. Get it nice and cold, a good 20 seconds or so, and then strain it in. And the last bit is your orange garnish. So, grab you an orange and an orange peeler, and you're gonna wanna peel a nice strip of orange peel off of there. And this guy, you express it, so all those oils that are there in that skin, try to get that into, and then run it along the rim, and in it goes. And that is an old-fashioned Aristotle's way. Perfect with every sip, because you've got perfectly clear ice and a gorgeous logo. And enjoy. So until next time, folks, be safe out there, and I look forward to seeing you again.